Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. Now tell me why people were going crazy over this video of Michael Ealy hugging up on Meagan Good in front of her boyfriend Jonathan Majors. A lot of people felt like this was a bit inappropriate, and some people were even saying that Jonathan was salty about that hug. And I will say the video looked a little crazy because Michael Ealy was hugging everybody, but he seemingly ignored Jonathan. That was awkward. However, Nightcast Media had the full video, and in the beginning, Michael did actually acknowledge Jonathan. They did share a hug. So Michael was not being the villain that people thought he was, but still people were coming up with narratives about this whole interaction, and they were really paying attention to how Jonathan Majors reacted. And I'll be honest, I was paying attention too, and I could tell that he wasn't really pleased. He wasn't pleased. Not to say that he was mad or anything, but he definitely didn't like that little hug. And I could just tell by just the faces between him and Meagan after the fact. But maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know. And this is the unfortunate thing about Meagan and Jonathan's relationship. It will be heavily scrutinized because of how their relationship came about. They actually went public with their relationship after Jonathan had that assault incident with his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Because of that incident, Jonathan now has the reputation of having a temper and being aggressive. And just to briefly revisit the incident, what happened is his ex-girlfriend Grace saw him texting another woman, and he called her Cleopatra in his phone, and he said, "I wish I was kissing you right now." When Grace saw that, she went ballistic and she tried to grab his phone, and they were tussling over the phone, and Jonathan broke free and started running, and Grace started chasing after him. In the midst of their whole tussle, Grace did get injured, and that is why Jonathan was found guilty of assault. It was third-degree assault, and it was unintentional, but he was found guilty, and of course this made him look like an abuser. Also, it was said that he was very controlling, and he got upset with his ex for getting drunk one night, and he said that he wanted her to be like Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. These are not my words, these are his.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really though, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
I know, I'm not, I shouldn't have gone out. I'm
No,
sorry.
let me just lay it out for you, right? If I'm just gonna say this. My temper, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately.
He said, "I am a great man." A great man. Yo, Jonathan Majors, I ain't gonna hold you. He's off. Something about him is off. But I still think that a whole trial between him and Grace was some BS, honestly. And it really tainted his reputation. And Meagan Good, she stepped into the rescue. She stood by his side. And a lot of people were wondering, why would she do that? Why would she put her reputation on the line? Why would she stand by somebody who was going through something like that? Now, at first I thought Meagan was hired for PR purposes. I didn't think this relationship was real, to be honest. But she has stuck by him. In fact, when people advised her not to be with him, she didn't listen. Jonathan himself told her not to be with him, and she didn't listen.
I mean, he actually tried to encourage me to not be with him. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Did any friends advise you, like, he's in the middle of legal troubles, why don't you wait a beat? Why don't you wait to see how everything kind of shakes out?
Yeah, every friend advised me.
Yeah.
So Meagan was encouraged not to be with Jonathan, especially when he was going through his trial, but she still stuck by him. And I think she really does care for him, but also I'm starting to believe that maybe she was the one that Jonathan was texting in that car. His ex-girlfriend got mad when she saw him texting another woman. That's how that whole assault incident came about. So it's possible that maybe he was texting Meagan. I don't know if he was or not, but it is possible. And it probably would explain why she felt the need to stay by him, even though she didn't have to, even though the incident wasn't her fault at all. But I can imagine that maybe she kind of saw what Jonathan was going through and she probably thought, dang, he's in this situation because he was texting me. And I know he's not the person that people are painting him out to be, so I gotta hold him down. I'm not saying that's how it happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did pan out that way. And I noticed Meagan doesn't really like to go into how she met Jonathan in the first place. So it does kind of make me wonder if she was talking to him while he was still with his ex.
We met at an event. I'm not gonna get too into it, but yeah, and it just was instant chemistry, but I wasn't really in that mind frame. And then we re-met again about 4 months later.
How have you kept your relationship or started a relationship in the midst of all of this?
Well, I won't get into how it started, but what I will say is the support that we've been able to give each other, the pouring into each other, the honest conversations, the love, the respect, just the care and the thoughtfulness. It's been really wonderful.
I think at this point, it doesn't really matter how Jonathan and Meagan met. They're together. It seems real. And I do wish them the best. I do, even though there are some times when I kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't really know, because Meagan's star power is so big. Everybody knows her. Everybody loves her. When she goes on the red carpet, it's really all about her. And Jonathan doesn't seem to really be well adjusted to that. I honestly think he's just naturally awkward. And I also think he might be sensitive about how people look at him and perceive him, because people don't really necessarily look at him in the best light anymore. He's no longer viewed as the sex symbol. He's no longer getting glowing reviews for his artistry. Now when he does something, he gets scrutinized. Just the other day, he was dancing to Kendrick's song, Not Like Us, and he was living his life, but people were out here clowning him and saying he danced like a slave and he was shucking and jiving. I mean, it was just so mean and unnecessary. And now you have this whole Michael Ealy video that went viral, and people are now looking at Jonathan like, oh, he about to rough up Meagan when he get home. He's going to give her the Coretta Scott King lecture. It's just so many narratives going around, and it kind of makes me feel bad for him, because it seems like he can't do anything without it being scrutinized. And I can imagine that maybe some of the criticism does get under his skin and he takes his concerns to Meagan. And if that's true, that could actually be overwhelming for Meagan, because she's not only dealing with his idiosyncrasies, but now she would have to deal with his insecurities. And that could definitely be a lot to deal with. And Meagan did say that she feels the need to protect him because of the criticism that he gets.
Honestly, the only thing that I've been a little bit more sensitive about now is there will be critiques, like when Jonathan and I are on the carpet. I think I'm not bothered by it, but a part of me wants to protect him, because I know how we are when we are us. You know, there'll be paparazzi taking pictures, and I'm like, whatever. And I have to be like, baby, you gotta smile. And for him, it's in his space. It freaks him out. He's not about the celebrity. He doesn't like to do all the stuff. He just wants to do the art. And all the other stuff to him, that's why he never did it before, because he doesn't want to do it. And our relationship kind of forced it. So when we're on the carpet, and I can just tell, you know, he's a little bit uncomfortable.
So Meagan is in the position now where she feels like she has to protect Jonathan. And I think in some ways she is being used as a tool to rehabilitate his image. I think that she has definitely helped Jonathan a whole lot, and she doesn't like people disrespecting her man either. In fact, she actually addressed Katt Williams' comments about Jonathan on Club Shay Shay. If you remember, Katt Williams called Jonathan ugly, and Meagan politely checked him on that.
Part of giving you the world. First of all, they went around the world for 2 years straight telling any women that would listen that this was a good-looking Negro. Mm-hmm. Since when? When did y'all start liking a big nose? And when did y'all like a little head and a big jaw? When? Since when? That look like my daddy. When you start liking my daddy? You like black people's features like that? If this ugly nigga is good looking, then all niggas is good looking. Get out of here. Get out of here, ugly boy.
Yeah.
What's it like working with Katt on set?
Katt's sweetheart. He's a sweetheart. I seen his interview. He's a sweetheart. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Katt's amazing.
But that's what I am gonna say.
What?
I'm sorry, but my man is sexy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, he's very, very sexy.
Okay,
to
okay.
Me.
I forgot.
We just need to be all the way clear on that.
That was so crazy. That was crazy. Katt Williams is a trip, man. Just to put what he said into context, he was talking about how Hollywood was pushing Jonathan Majors as this sex symbol, but all of a sudden when he messed up, they tore him down. So in the midst of him talking about that, he called Jonathan ugly, which Jonathan, he's not ugly. He might not appeal to everybody, but I don't think he's ugly. I think he's kind of attractive, at least in my opinion, but whatever. But I wish Meagan and Jonathan all the best. I know some people think that their relationship has a lot of red flags. I don't know them personally. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes between them, but I do hope that both of them are getting used to going public with each other. I think Meagan is all right with it, but I don't know if Jonathan is. And I just hope that he doesn't begin to resent Meagan because of the publicity and the scrutiny that he's getting. I just hope that it doesn't come to that. You know what I mean? But anyway, I also want to briefly talk about Meagan speaking on her divorce from her ex-husband, Devon Franklin. She spoke very eloquently about it. She said that she and Devon are good friends to this day, but at the time she was upset about it. She said that she was mad that he left her.
Going through the divorce, that shook me to my core. I was just like, but Lord, you asked me to be celibate, and I was. You know, you told me who to marry. I married that person. I try to do everything to the best of my ability, and no, I didn't do everything perfect, but I don't know that I could have done anything different, if I'm being honest. I was just like, why is this happening? My greatest fear was for my husband to leave me after 10 years of marriage, the way that my dad and my mom separated. At the time, I was so mad at Devon, but now I think what he did was very brave. It was a very scary thing to know that the church and all the people, everyone was going to be like, well, this is not what a man of God or a woman of God does, you know. And of course, there were a lot of people who were like, well, Meagan must have done something. And I'm like, what? You know.
My ex-husband is a wonderful human being, a beautiful human being. But nevertheless, I still was incredibly hurt. I still was incredibly devastated. I still was incredibly angry, as I'm sure that he was as well.
I think this was the first time I've seen Meagan speak this openly about her divorce from Devon. She said that she was angry. She was angry. And if you don't know, Devon was the one who filed for divorce. We don't know the reason why, but it seemed like it was amicable. It seems like it was mutual from the way they both announced it. And some believe that maybe Devon was the one heartbroken in the situation because Devon has been more open about his divorce. He even posted a picture of himself crying, and people were like, oh my God, what did Meagan do to this man? But in reality, she didn't do anything. I don't think he did anything either. But Meagan didn't leave him heartbroken and distressed like some people may have thought. In fact, she was the one confused and distressed because he left her. And we still don't know the reason why. But I personally think that they were incompatible. I think their lifestyles were different and they were moving into different directions. That's just my whole personal belief. But it's cool to hear that they are still friends. But anyway, tell what y'all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.